Did you know black women once used their hair to draw escape maps in Colombia?
We have to create laws now to eliminate hair discrimination.
It's your first time here, this is Comfort for Life Network. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For my returning subscribers, I appreciate your love and support. Without further ado, let's dive into today's video. Today we'll be looking at a very important aspect of black history that pertains African hair, and how ancestors used to plait their hair to communicate, to pass certain messages. But also, there is also another aspect that I felt that is important for us to communicate. Here is also the power behind hair. So it's also like it has two aspects. This video has two aspects. So there is that hair, communicative aspect of hair, and also hair and spirituality. I have a question for you. What value do you give to your hair? How do you value your hair? So yeah, don't forget to leave me your thoughts kindly. Let's interact as we continue on. This is a collection of TikTok videos. Listen, enjoy the rest, and don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comment section. You're free to express yourself. Just remember to observe the community guideline. Keep the comment instructive.
Did you know black women once used their hair to draw escape maps in Colombia? In the 1800s, enslaved African women forcibly taken to Colombia would communicate with their communities through braided hair, most importantly for planning escapes. For example, a braided hairstyle called departes, meaning depart in English, would signal that the person wanted to escape. Black women would also record with their braids the obstacles they would encounter on their journeys to help others escape. A river was represented with a braid in the shape of a worm, a Bantu knot represented a mountain, and if there were soldiers in any part of the route, they would use really thick braids still known today in the Pacific region of Colombia as tropas, which means troops in English. On top of that, inside the braids sometimes gold or seeds were hidden to ensure they would survive after they escaped. Because of these escape maps of braids, many Africans were able to escape and form the famous free settlements known as palenques. So
elegant, not elegant, elegant, not elegant, elegant, not elegant.
Did you know that 1 in 2 black girls will experience hair discrimination before the age of 10? Did you know that 66% of black women have altered their hair just to allegedly fit into more professional settings? For whatever reason, black hair continues to be a political subject. So much so that we have to create laws now to eliminate hair discrimination. And here you come with your video playing into those stereotypes that says black hair is unkempt, tacky, unprofessional, or as you say, not elegant. Also, notice the styles that she picked as not elegant. 2 of them in particular, the Afro puffs and the Bantu knot, are cultural styles. So what is she saying about black culture when she thinks 2 of the 3 of our styles aren't elegant? Like we care though.
Why am I, a non-black person, not allowed to wear African American hairstyles like box braids or locks? If this is a genuine question that you would like an answer to, hang out with me for like 3 minutes. So in many cultures, hair has been extremely important. And in ancient Africa, let me just make myself smaller here, hair could actually tell a lot of things about you, like who you are, where you're from, your financial status, and just overall social status. And these are just some examples of ancient African hair. So box braids and locks were actually part of that. Stay with me. So during the transatlantic slave trade, people's heads were shaved when they were brought over to the Americas. So their entire culture, history, just identity was just completely stripped. And that was part of breaking people. And then on top of that, once people were brought over here, there was a hierarchy that was developed based on hair texture. So if you had more Eurocentric hair, you were considered higher up in the totem pole and you were allowed to be in the house, for instance. And if your hair wasn't as good, you were, put outside. And that's where the she has good hair thing comes from. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but that's where it comes from. So then when people would run away, cornrows actually became very helpful because they sent different messages, and people would even put maps in their hair. So there's deeply rooted significance to hair. And it's not just that it's pretty, it's just there's a lot of emotional trauma tied to hair. Then in the 1700s, it was actually, they passed laws that made it illegal for Black women to show their hair. So they had to start wearing head wraps like that. And to this day, the hair discrimination exists. It's in the workplace, it's in sports, it's everywhere. Like, there's this athlete who had their hair chopped off at an event because it wasn't considered appropriate. And over the past 100 years or so, people are reclaiming their hair. That's why you might see posts on LinkedIn, for instance, that are Black women being so excited and proud to show their braids at work without fearing consequences. So remembering the historical and painful ties that hair has culturally for the Black community, I think it might be easier to understand why it's not okay for non-Black people to wear those hairstyles. And you can totally admire the hair from afar. It's absolutely beautiful. The different styles are fucking phenomenal. And just a heads up, the Black community has been talking about this for a very long time. This is not new news. Anyway, I hope this helps someone non-judgmentally understand, why you can't wear that hair.
We have to talk about one of the most ancient hairstyles that ever came out of Africa. We are talking about these braids right here. And a big shout out to all my sisters and brothers who are rocking these braids right here, okay? You guys are harnessing the energy from your ancient ancestors every time you put braids in your hair, all right? This is a 6,000-year-old plus tradition, okay? This goes way back in time. The ancient walls of Kemet, you see braids displayed in most of the women from the South. Make no mistake about it, this is as African as it gets with these hairstyles.
We're so happy to see people of all ages rocking their crown. Hair holds immense spiritual power, but what if we cut it? Our hair holds lots of energy. Historically, anti-Blackness tried disempowering our enslaved ancestors by shaving their heads or forcing them to wear head wraps. Over time, rocking your crown became a form of resistance. We love how we reclaim and embrace our hairstyles, but there's still one style that gets a bad rep. Many people, especially women, are judged for rocking short hair or a bald head. Often, this judgment is rooted in toxic gender and sexuality stereotypes, but sometimes it's coming from a religious perspective as well. In some religions, it's taboo to cut your hair. This centers around believing our hair is where we store our power. But here's another take on this. Hair stores energy, but there's lots of energy out there. Our hair could be holding really empowering energy, but it also could be storing negative energy. This negative energy could be due to trauma, anxiety, or a period of time in which we weren't feeling super confident. And as the great Toni Morrison said, you want to fly? You got to give up what weighs you down. Is it time to pick up the trimmer? When was the last time you got a cut? New hair means transformation. It doesn't matter if you're rocking your hair to your knees or a baldy. As long as you're rocking your power. We all know schools aren't teaching Black history correctly.
I was today years old when I realized that slicking down baby hairs didn't just happen overnight, but were popularized by Black women in the early 1900s. The late great Josephine Baker sparked popularity with styled edges with swoop-like patterns. Baby hairs are a biological feature, and styling options and techniques look different for everyone. This is a message to all the girls that love their edges. Be kind to them and protect them at all costs. Don't pull them out and don't let anyone else pull them out. This is your sign to advocate for yourself. P.S. When using edge products, make sure that alcohol is not an ingredient.
And this is how to compliment Black hair without causing offense. Black people often receive comments on their hair, and it can be a harmful, racist microaggression. This is because Black people face significant discrimination for their hair types and styles, including harassment and loss of work opportunities. This is rooted in the racist perception of Black hair as being wild and unkempt that has been used to dehumanize, objectify, and oppress Black people for centuries. Therefore, comments implying that Black hair is different and other have the same objectifying impact and consequences. So to avoid causing offense, avoid making comments that are objectifying and othering. For example, there's a difference between "I like your hair, it's pretty" and "wow, your hair is so cool." Also, not everyone likes unsolicited comments on their appearance, even if they are respectful and positive. So if your compliment isn't well received, apologize and keep it moving.
That was it about this video, guys. One aspect that I want to add here is how my mom views hair, and it's something that I've been wanting to understand. But then when I got the spiritual aspect of hair, got me like a perspective to it, because most of the time she was just saying, you don't allow anyone to touch your hair unless you know them. So, and up to now, as I speak, she's in her 60s, and I've never seen her plaiting her hair. I've never seen her allowing anyone to touch her hair unless you are a daughter, or she can't allow anyone to touch her hair, and she keeps covering her head. So I never understand the aspect of covering. I don't know if it has anything attached to colonialism, the time that they were told to not leave their hair open. I don't know. So it is yet to tell me that part, but I appreciate you watched the video. Hope this video was helpful to you as much as it was for me. I appreciate that you watched to this extent. Goodbye for now. I appreciate your love and support.